What we've also set up, and as we said at the start, this is in the context of 3 different school cultures coming together. So that's why it's all a bit, I suppose, why we're trying to explain to you how we've put the other stuff that's going on at the same time in. We asked people to use on-demand, which we have some technology problems with, but we're starting to get that happening nicely. And we're also trying to put back into place what the 3 schools used to have in terms of benchmarking over a long period of time. So we've nearly got set up again from 7 to 10, all of the data that's collected on demand, NAPLAN, AIM, Torch, what's the maths one? PatMath we do. So that stuff's starting to be available to teachers again over a long period of time. But to this sort of stuff, and I don't know if the colours have come up properly for you. This was Year 7s, and that idea that you would mind map prior to doing something, and then the other colour is the next part of the mind map. So that in black was done it was a writing exercise in particular. They were doing, the finished product was to be a fractured fairy tale. So there was a number of things that went into it first. Then they came back, and in the red are the things that they think they learnt. Can I have the next one, please? And another one from another child. Down the side, he's written all the things that he thinks, the word, not only the vocab, but also what he was bringing to that unit of work. And then the things that he's written round the side in red are the next one. Next one, please. I just press what? Oh, okay. This was one of the things that we've used in 7, 8, and I've used it in 9s, and my 9s actually like it. You can't leave the classroom until you've filled in what you learnt today and how. With the 8s in particular, at the beginning of the year I was teaching a Year 8 English. I'm not anymore, but as we taught each of the high reliability strategies, particularly getting knowledge ready and summarising and paraphrasing, they started to use that terminology in the how did they learn those things. But you weren't allowed to walk out of the classroom until you handed me that. So, and we also have other exit passes, but that's when you get thrown out. So this was different. Okay. It's hard. And the throw out ones are for me to write on, not the children. This one, can you see that? No, never mind. It'll be on the PowerPoint, but it was a strategy that to support the Year 8s in their reading, and all I asked them to do, and it's written on the post-it at the bottom, use post-its when we are reading to jot down words or new things or questions that you bring to the text. And then I asked the kids, after we had done that a number of times, to what they thought of that strategy. Did it actually help them? One of them said it made things too easy and they didn't do any work because they just wrote on the post-its. But for most of the kids, they were reflecting on what worked for them. And it was... it allowed us to continue to read. We were doing a novel at this time as a whole class novel. It allowed us to continue to read on, having set it up to begin with the getting knowledge ready and a word splash or whatever for each chapter. But it allowed us, if there were things that came up in the text that they needed to clarify, they jotted it down. And that sort of, a number of other Year 8 teachers started using that particular one, so that, because the kids were asking for post-it notes. So the kids were leading some of the strategies as well, which was rather nice.